When you fall in love with avoidant men, love feels so close to you, but at the same time, it feels far away. It feels out of reach. When you're attracted to them, it feels as though they are the one, that he is the one. But at the same time, at certain moments, the actions that he does make you doubt about whether he actually loves you. When you're attracted to avoidant men, there is always that push-pull factor. One moment you're super close to him, you guys are so connected, he is so in love, you're so in love, and he may even say to you that he has never been this close to anyone before. But then the next moment, he starts pulling away. He withdraws himself from your life. He says that he needs to take some space, or he may act cold and distant, pretending that that never happened. The closeness, the bond with you never happened. One moment you guys are sharing that intense spark, passion and chemistry, but then he starts texting you less. He takes longer to respond, or he may say that he just needs some time to think, time to be with himself. And if you fall in love with an avoidant man, the truth is that bond that you have with him will feel so strong. It will feel like he is your soulmate, that there is no one else in the world that you are that close, that connected to as much as him. But that is the trap, my love. That is what happens when you fall for an avoidant man. And the thing, it is a trap because it always makes you keep you coming back. His push-pull factor, his interest and disinterest factor, it makes it super appealing to you, and you mistake this obsession for love, this craving for love. And before you click away from this video because you want to defend the fact that of course he is the one, I want to share with you why it is that you think that he is the one, why it is that you are attracted to him. And when you actually see this, the veil will be lifted and you will start to understand about why things are the way things are, why he acts the way that he acts, and why you are so attracted, drawn to his love. And that is what you want to realize if you want to attract and receive healthy, secure love. Because the truth is, that's the trap that I have been on in the past myself too. At one point, I was drawn to emotionally avoidant men. And until I realized, until I saw what was actually happening, only then I could actually make space for someone who is available for me, for my husband, my life partner, who is safe, secure, and loving. And this is what you need to understand, my dear, which is that the reason why avoidant men are so compelling, addictive, attractive, sexy in your mind's eye is because he is keeping the story alive inside of you. He's keeping the stories of how love should be hard, the story of how you need to wait around for love, that you need to suffer for love, or that you need to earn for love. All these stories around why love is not 100% available for you, he is confirming that. In other words, he is confirming the stories inside of you, saying why you should suffer for love. And this is the reason why it feels so compelling to love him, because it feels like you're doing something. It feels like you're making progress because you are suffering for it. And the mind mistakes that suffering as love, thinks that is love, thinks that you waiting around for him, you trying to be patient with him is love. And where do we get these stories from? We get these stories from what we have experienced before, such as in our childhood when your parents are there but they are not fully there. Look at how similar this is to the avoidant men. They love you, they like you, but not enough to marry you, or not enough to fully commit to you, or not enough to text you every day, or whatever your desires is. It's like they can give, there is a hope that they can give, but then they cannot fully give. And that's very similar to your childhood where your parents, they were there, but then they couldn't consistently provide your needs, where they wanted to give you love, but then they couldn't because they had work, or because they had other obligations coming up, or because you had other siblings to take care of instead of you. Because of all these conditions, love was inconsistent. Love was unavailable. And this is the reason why we keep coming back to these avoidant men, because it's very similar to what we have experienced in our past. And because deep down with our parents, we felt like, oh, love was there, but if I could just change something, if I could just fix this thing, then my parents could love me. Because of this inner desire to want to fix the lack of love that we had with our parents, this little part of you wants to fix the lack of love that you had with your parents. And this is the reason why we're drawn to these men, because our subconscious believes that by being with this men, it's gonna fix the lack of love that we felt with our childhood, with our parents. And this is why we're drawn to him, because subconsciously we're trying to resolve the pain that we felt as a little kid, as a little girl. And guess what? When we are with these men, it feels as though love is an obstacle. They are these mountains. Before we can get to love feels hard. Love feels like a struggle, because these men are proving to us that yes, love feels like this struggle mountain before you finally can get to the sunshine, the beach, or whatever that is, right? So you can see that as love. But avoidant men, they're like these mountains and barriers, the obstacles that they present to us. For instance, when they say that they don't have enough time or enough availability for you, when they say that they don't have the emotional capacity yet, right? Whenever they're presenting these obstacles, it feels like love is this mountain that you need to climb onto before you can get to love, before you can get to that paradise land that you want. It feels like, oh, there is this struggle. But then there's another part of you that thinks that it is worth it. It will be worth it. Once you climb all these obstacles that he is presenting, it will be worth it. Why? Because we believe that love should be suffering, that suffering feels like a form of love. And which is the reason why also, especially spiritual women, you may say things like, oh, it's just God is just testing my patience. God is just testing how much I can tolerate. Or you may spiritualize this pain inside by saying that, oh, his soul is finally going through an initiation, or his soul is growing or up leveling, right? In order for us to not live in a new reality where love is easily available, the old reality, the old belief, the old little program, the program that says love should feel like suffering, it wants to keep us here. It wants to keep us in this path where before you can get to love, you need to cross this mountainous challenge, this barricade, before you can get to what you desire. And that, my love, comes from no other than our past experience when it comes to love. We've been conditioned as a little kid. We felt as though love didn't come so easily, so consistently, so readily available. Love was never like that. And that is the reason why we continue living it this way, meeting men who keep us in this story, in this program of suffering, because it feels familiar. It feels like home. It feels like our parents' love. It feels like once you suffer enough, you will get to love, that it'll be worth it. But the truth is that all of that is actually a lie. It's actually an illusion, because the truth is that you are creating this mountain for yourself. You are creating this barrier inside of yourself between you and love. Sure, men are presenting this, but there is a part of you that wants this to happen, that wants love to be hard, because otherwise that old you, that past self would dissolve. It would die. And that is why it is keeping you in the track of love being hard. And yet, no matter how much you perform, no matter how long you try to wait around for that person, no matter how much you try to fix him or try to fix yourself, you will never get to that love easily. Why? Because you're still running in this program, this paradigm that unless you struggle, then you will not get to love. Unless you wait, unless you suffer first, then love will not be there. And of course, why would love be there? Because who you are, you're placing yourself as away from love. And as long as you're placing there, no amount of trying, efforting, waiting is going to bring you here. And then the other reason for why avoidant men are so attractive to you is because he triggers that part of you that want to prove. In other words, he makes you want to prove to him. And this is because what's happening deep down in his psyche, in the unconscious, what's really happening deep down in these avoidant men is that the truth is that they are afraid of love. Love is mixed with fear. They want love, but they're also afraid of love because they have been hurt by the people that they loved in the past, or because whenever they reached out for love, love was never available for them. This is the reason why they created this protection when it comes to love. This is the reason why anytime that you are emotionally close with him, then he withdraws afterwards, or then he acts cold afterward, because in the past, love felt dangerous. Love felt like fear. And these type of men, they actually complement your desire for love so much, because deep down, what you have for you, love is a desire. You love love so much. You love falling in love so much. You romanticize love so much. And because you see that this love is a big deal, and yet at the same time, for them, love is something that they're afraid of. Because of this contrast between you and him, what happens is that this part of you that really loves and desires love wants to prove to him that actually love is okay, that love is safe, that you'll be there for him. It'll be all right. You two will be together. He'll be safe. That is the reason why he attracts you so much. You are attracted to him so much because you want to prove to him that what you desire matters. It's the same thing as, let's think of an example. Think of, for instance, a little child who is afraid of a ghost house. They're afraid of ghosts and going into a ghost house. But then think of you as that you're someone who loves exploring the ghost house. And maybe you know that those things don't exist, or maybe you want to show that inside the ghost house, there's actually nothing to fear. You have this desire around exploring the ghost house, but then there is a little kid who is afraid of going into the ghost house. Guess what's going to happen? You're going to be really attracted to this little guy because you want to show him that it is okay to go into the ghost house, right? And the same thing is happening inside of you. It is that there is this part of you that wants to prove to him that love is okay, that love is safe, that love is something good, because it is this very thing that you truly desire, that you really want. And so whenever an avoidant is withdrawing from love, is afraid of love, that makes you feel compassion for him even more, that makes you feel even more patience for him even more. Especially if you are a spiritual woman, you may feel like, oh, he just needs some time, or he just needs some healing, or I need to heal him, or you may try to, again, spiritualize around this pain. But what you need to understand is that even if you're trying to use all these spiritual concepts to explain why things are the way things are, the truth is it's just the mind that is trying to run in the same old program. It's trying to keep that program alive where it says that love, you're meant to suffer for love, that love feels like suffering. Which is the reason why whenever he runs away from love, whenever he's afraid of love, this is the reason why that part of you who desires love, craves love so much, she kicks in order to prove him, to bring him into the realization that love is safe, that love is okay. And also, it isn't just in terms of how he views love. It's also the fact that he has other perspectives that make you want to prove him. So for instance, there are some parts of him that do not fully see you. They do not see you. They do not have space for you. They are not vulnerable with you, right? So because he is not fully doing these things, what happens is that deep down, just like your desire for love, you have this desire for to be seen, to be held space, to be vulnerable with someone. You had all these desires inside of you. But then because he is not doing it, there is a part of you that wants to prove to him that yes, you are worthy of being seen. Yes, you are worthy of being held space for. Yes, you are worthy of being vulnerable too. Again, just like how you want to change his perceptions around love, there is another part of you, that same part wants to also change how he treats you. In other words, you want to be seen, you want to be held, you want to be approved, you want to be cared for. But then because he is not doing it, you feel as though deep down, if you just change how he treats you, if he just finally sees you, if he just finally holds space for you, if he is just finally vulnerable with you, then you are worthy of being seen. Then you are worthy of being held space for. Then you are worthy of being vulnerable or having emotional connection, emotional intimacy with. In other words, just as how you're trying to prove to him that love is okay, love is safe, you're also trying to prove to him that you are safe, that you are worthy of being seen, that you are worthy of being loved. And the thing is, to the part of you that wants to prove to someone, there is no other person out there in the world that is as attractive as someone who cannot do those. Because when someone cannot do this, it strengthens your need to prove someone even more. It strengthens your need to fight for that love, to earn that love even more, because he is affirming to that belief, or rather he is opposing what you actually want. So by trying to change him, you think that that is how you would receive what you want, which in other words, it is to say that, and all of that to say, to sum it all up, is to realize that the reason why you're attracted to avoidant men is because they are affirming what you believe about yourself. In other words, the avoidant men are affirming the belief that we are not worthy, that we are not loved, the belief that we are not chosen, that we are abandoned, that we are rejected. The avoidant man is really attractive to the ego mind, the part of us who believes that we are in lack, that we are separate from others, that we are not loved, which is the reason why no matter how much toxic we think they are, we just keep coming back to them, because they are like magnifying glasses. They are magnifying the wounds inside of us. The avoidant men are magnifying, zooming into the wounds inside of us. And these wounds, they want to be healed. They want to be loved. They want to be chosen. They want to be accepted for who they are. These wounds want love, but instead of them seeking for you, the wound is seeking for the avoidant man. The wound thinks that somehow if the avoidant man does something different, treats you well, sees you, holds you, if he somehow changes his pattern, the wound thinks that that is how it's gonna be resolved. That is how it's going to be healed. When the truth is, he cannot do that. Because why? Because he is just a magnifying glass. He will magnify whatever it is that you have inside of yourself. The reason why you feel hurt, you feel triggered when he avoids your emotion or when he is not there for you, is because that wound is not being loved by anyone. It's asking for the avoidant man, but at the same time, it is avoided by you. It is not being seen by you. It is not being healed, loved, chosen by you. And that, my love, is why we keep coming back to the avoidant man who cannot love us. And we make this mistake, the ego makes this mistake, thinking that this person outside of you is the gateway to love. When the truth is that he's just a mirror. He's just a magnifying glass. And you can think of this example as almost like when there is a little kid that is crying, right? If there is a wound, it's like a little kid that is crying. And instead of the parent attending to the little kid, it's like looking to see who else can fix the kid for it, like distracting himself or herself with a circus and thinking that the circus will somehow fix the kid, right? So when you are reaching out for avoidant man, we're doing the same thing onto ourselves. We're avoiding that little kid inside of ourselves. We're neglecting her. And instead we're saying that, oh, this person, this guy can fix me. This guy can love me. This guy can heal me. When the truth is, he is just an external mirror. He cannot change unless you change. Or you can think of this analogy as almost like you have a house, and inside of this house, there's a leaking pipe. Water's leaking. But instead of fixing the leaking pipe, right, instead of tending to the wound that you're feeling inside of you, rather than that, you're looking at another building, trying to fix another building, trying to change another building. It's similar to how you're trying to change the man. And we're saying that if he just change his behavior, if he just tends to our need, then we're going to be loved. When the truth is, what needs to change is that water pipe, the leaking pipe is inside of you. That wound is inside of us, right? So in order to shift this whole thing into being loved by secure men, by men who are able to love us, first, we need to be there for ourselves. The reason why we attract avoidant men is because we avoid ourselves. And when you no longer avoid yourself, when you are there for yourself, then you start to realize that actually you don't need this magnifying glass anymore, right? This avoidant man actually has no use anymore, or it doesn't excite you as much anymore, because now you don't have this pattern inside of you that is constantly feeling unloved, unseen, unheard, rejected, abandoned. When you no longer feel it, then when other people, they act in behaviors that are not true to who we are, that are not in alignment with who we truly are, we just don't feel the pull to it anymore. We see them for who they are rather than thinking that they are our savior, rather than pedestalizing them as the God who will finally give us the love, which turns out to be scraps of love, breadcrumbs of love. And my love, this is how you change your love life. This is how you finally experience lasting love. When you start to shift your focus, instead of trying to fix him and change him and reach out for him, rather than that, you see that all that reaching out happening is actually inside of you. He is just mirroring the universe that is inside of you. And when you tend to that universe inside of you, that place that is hurting, that is unloved, unseen, avoided, abandoned, then that is when you start to see that you actually have it all, that you have the love that you have been looking for all along. And only when you realize this, once you become it, then men starts to magnify the truth of who you are. The men in your life, they start to show you that you are deserving, that you are worthy of unconditional love, that you are worthy of consistency, of stable, secure love. And of course, that means that sometimes the type of men that you attract change, and the type of men who are attracted to you also change. But sometimes it doesn't even have to change. When you change, the man, even if he is avoidant at first, when you start to change, he also changes, because now you're realizing the truth of who you are, that you have it all. He then starts to realize in himself that he also have it all. And only then he can give you perfect love. And of course, that is not for up to you to try to control, because God has actually the perfect man, the right match in store for you. We just need to get out of our way, blocking us from receiving that type of love. And it all comes down to realizing that the reason why we are attracted to avoidant men is only because we are avoiding ourselves. And only when you shift it, only when you can receive perfect love, then you also attract men who can bring you the type of love in the same way that you give onto yourself. Since after all, receiving and giving are one and the same. Much love. My love, if this video resonates with you and you want to find out the exact hidden shift that will transform your love life in a way that is uniquely personal to you, book a free one-on-one session. The link is in the description box below.